Driver does not drive all 24 hours. They switch.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I wondered how they did that. What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with another video. This will probably be our third video of the day today, and it's going to be a really simple one. It'll be a short, super sweet, very down to the point video, because we saw this track in our top 10 tracks video, or our top 10 F1 tracks video, which if you haven't seen that, go take a look, where we looked at the best motorsport / F1 tracks in the world. And they brought up the 24-hour race of Le Mans, which obviously takes place in France by the French name Le Mans. I almost called it Le Mans. I can't. But anyway, the 24-hour race of Le Mans apparently is supposed to be like this sort of humongous spectacle for motorsport. It's, you know, all drivers from all around the world go to compete. It is a, obviously by the title of it, day-long race, where I don't even know what it like goes in depth to, which is why we're gonna take a look at a beginner's guide, an explanation of the 24-hour race of Le Mans. Like, what is the, I don't know the end goal for it. Like, to just prove that it's a car is A, the fastest, and B, the most durable. I think that's probably in a sports car version. I think that's sort of the goal of it, but we're gonna take a look at this. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. I'm trying to understand the race a little bit better. I'm trying to understand sort of, what is it, the 7 wonders of the world, but in driving, in racing. I guess this is one of them. Nürburgring was one of them. 24 Hours of Le Mans. Like, what are the biggest spectacles? Let me know in the comments below. But let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video just down in the description below. Give it a look, and maybe let me know your thoughts in the comments so I can understand the race a little bit better, maybe from something that isn't said here.
So I'm just gonna get this right out of the way at the beginning. One driver does not drive all 24 hours. They switch.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I wondered how they did that. Because in F1 and other races, they last like 2 or 3 hours and the drivers are like dead tired.
So what is the 24 hours of Le Mans? And yes, it's pronounced Le Mans, not Le Mans.
I almost said it. I almost said it.
It's a 24-hour sports car race held in Le Mans, France. It's the ultimate test of vehicular fortitude. You have to build a car that is not only fast, but is also reliable enough to last for 24 hours of racing without mechanical failure. The race began way back in 1923 as a way for vehicle manufacturers to test the reliability of their cars, and has grown into one of the world's premier racing events.
Which is insane to think about.
Currently, the 24 Hours of Le Mans is part of a racing series called the World Endurance Championship, or WEC for short. It's a series sanctioned by the FIA, the same people that run Formula One. The race takes place at the Circuit de la Sarthe, which is a 8.4 mile or 13.6 kilometer racetrack. It comprises both closed public roads and sections of purpose-built racetrack. It's a pretty cool racetrack. It's got long straightaways, some really fast corners, and some cool elevation changes. The track's most famous feature is the 6 kilometer long Mulsanne Straight, where cars reach incredibly high speeds. In fact, in 1990...
So, let me get this straight. It is a pure 24-hour race between just car creators. If your car lasts the entire race, you're set. If not, you're screwed. That's essentially the race. That's what I'm getting from this, the first 90 seconds.
Had to be added to the straightaway to help slow down those top speeds. So now you're wondering, who races in this thing? Well, Le Mans is a multi-class race, meaning that there are several different types of cars all on the track at the same time, vying for the win in their particular class. Le Mans currently has 4 classes of cars, 2 classes of prototypes, and 2 classes of GT cars. This all adds up to a total of around 60 cars. LMP1. LMP1 stands for Le Mans Prototype 1. These are purpose-built race cars designed to try and win Le Mans.
Wow.
They're the fastest of the 4 classes and thus compete for the overall win of the race. They can top speeds of over 300 kilometers an hour, which is terrifying. LMP1 teams have all-pro driver lineups and are usually fielded by manufacturer-supported teams. Toyota Gazoo
Wow.
Racing has been the team to beat the past few years, and they're looking to continue.
So
the run.
Toyota is the most durable car.
LMP2.
That's kind of
Le Mans
predictable.
Prototype 2 are also purpose-built race cars, but they're fielded by privateer teams, and they all use the same engine. This class allows pro drivers, but it also mandates that you have one amateur driver in your car. And before you ask, I'm not going to explain how the driver rating system works between pros and AMs. It's a very confusing and complicated, simple system. GTE Pro. GTE Pro features vehicles based on road-going production cars. You'll probably recognize the Porsche 911, the Ferrari 488, and the Aston Martin.
Okay, I like this class. So it's sports cars that you could buy if you were, like, say, a millionaire, that are all racing in a 24-hour race of durability. So it's literally just testing out, let's say if you were to drive across country in a sports car, what would it look like? Bam, Le Mans is what you would, predict.
This class allows for all pro driver lineups and, like LMP1, is mostly factory-supported teams. GTE AM.
I'm gonna guess this is sports car amateurs.
GTE AM is pretty much the same as GTE Pro, but the main difference is that you must have 2 amateur drivers in your lineup. Speaking of lineups, I should have already mentioned that each team must have a lineup of 3 drivers, and each driver must complete at least 6 hours of the race. The race goes green at 4 p.m. with the customary waving of the French flag, and if you haven't already figured it out, it goes for 24 hours.
So 4 p.m. to
straight.
4 p.m.
Back in the day, drivers would actually run across the track at the start to get in their cars and then drive away. This then became known as the Le Mans start, and it's even still practiced in some go-kart racing. Of course, it was incredibly dangerous, so we don't do that anymore. We just do a standard rolling start. Drivers work on a rotating schedule of shifts referred to as stints to get their car to the end of the race.
So
Over
while
the
they're doing
24
like the
hours,
tech
teams can
changes.
expect to cover over 5,000 kilometers, which is more than 6 times the length of the Indy 500 and 18 times the length of a Formula One Grand Prix. Thanks, Wikipedia. Also, I'll save you Googling it. The longest distance ever covered in the race is 5,410 kilometers, which was accomplished in 2010. So that is essentially the gist of the 24 hours of Le Mans. Hopefully, you can now watch this race confidently and have a pretty good understanding of what's happening.
Nor will I.
Of course, there are lots of little nuances that I didn't cover, but fear not. You're a beautiful, wonderful, intelligent person who has changed their life by taking an interest in motor racing.
Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much.
gonna watch the broadcast, listen to the commentators, Google things.
But I'm not gonna stay awake for the full 24 hours. Imagine doing a full 24-hour live stream to watch all of Le Mans. When's the race? Let's get it going. Let's get it I would actually do it. If you guys were ever interested in actually seeing that, I would 110% do that. But nonetheless, this has been a good intro. It actually does kind of explain. I always wondered how they actually, whether it was like 1 driver or 2 drivers, how the drivers were picked, what systems were figured out. It's very interesting. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, and maybe we'll take a more in-depth look at Le Mans, or maybe actually watch a race or 2. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.